on rope. So we're gonna, here's the game plan here. We're gonna head on down about, how far down would you say that first blockage is? Maybe 30 feet?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get down about 30 feet, clear that sucker, and then it's down onto the depths. Okay. Get the rope on the right side of you. Here we go. So, from what I've been told, this mine has, it's a 300-foot shaft, right? Yes, 300-foot shaft. Although the bottom 50 feet are supposedly quite clogged with water, unfortunately. That may have been intentional. Could be a sump. We're looking at about a 70-degree incline here. So not too bad. Pretty classy and easy. There's our blockage. I've unfortunately kicked up a fair amount of dust. It is possible and likely that this may go vertical at some point. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Holy hell. It's a long ride down. Okay, I got most of the big stuff free. All the rest of this stuff seems like it's gonna stay. Except for there's 2 rocks. Now those guys are our next target. Knock them free before I get underneath them. Would have liked to have pulled these up from above, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So we're gonna call this first one Big Mama 1. Ooh. Big Mama 1 is off. Big Mama 2 is loose enough that I don't trust it. Likely this would have been timbered, and actually here is a timber. Looks like a sill plate into a couple of stoles. We're down maybe 100 feet. I know it's very difficult to see, but that is the main incline there at about 70 degree. Waiting on my comrade to make his way down. But while we're here, some interesting things. We've got an old galvanized bucket in fairly decent shape, all things considered. We also have something here. I'm not sure, but that's an old Babbitt bearing, missing the bearing cap, of course, and the rest of it, but likely part of some sort of winch or pulley system. Very neat, though. The mineral deposits on the walls here are just absolutely gorgeous. Nice crystalline formations here. Not sure exactly what this is, but the walls are very much covered in it. The dust has unfortunately flowed off into a lot of other parts of the mine. It's obscuring vision and whatnot. But aside from that, you can still see fairly decently. Let there be light. So some really beautiful crystal formations all over. I mean, just look at those. It looks like quartz there. Some sort of vein along this front here that they were tapping into. End of a... here we go. High explosives dangerous. Ooh. That's why you don't want to stand downwind of somebody coming down the tunnel or the Stope, wow. That's a nice chunk of quartz crystals there. Look at the different coloration as it goes in. A large structure on them. Might be taking a sample of that home. Very pretty. The things you find in mines. Wow, more of the large crystals. They're just everywhere in here. So this guy here. Ah, okay, it looks like a stope that they were working. Let me get myself on up and in. Timbers are pretty well rotten. Dry rot by the look of it. It is extremely humid. I am perspiring like a pig, even though I'm not moving all that much. Oh, the tunnel seems to, or the drift seems to continue. So this was likely a raise with a platform, maybe an ore chute, and it just let go under the weight as the timbers failed. Let's see if we can look up this. And just a stoped out section, doesn't seem to go anywhere. Some of the stoles still hanging on. Those rocks sure go hurtling. It's only 70 degrees, not even a 90-degree incline, and they get moving. Little intersection here. Well, we face off straight ahead. Keeps going to the left, but following the rules of rights, we'll come back to that. Over here, got some wedges, some railroad connectors. So there was rail in this at one point in time. Now this section's getting nice and cool. Maybe that other section's a little bit more so into the water table. Yeah, this is cool, dry. This is a desert mine right here. It's very nice. We're gonna go down to the next level and presumably as far as we can before we get to where the water is. I don't plan on going past that today. Maybe in the future if I get a scuba gear setup going. Keeps going quite a bit. Again, another pocket of that mineralization here. It's very soft stuff. Looks almost volcanic, like a pumice. Wow, big chunk there. And okay, this illustrates it beautifully. You could see the transition into the, I think this is a pyroclastic flow or old, it's volcanic in nature. I'm not a geologist, so if I butcher this, please excuse me. But I believe this is volcanic formations here. And the contrast in color and the crystallization, I don't know if that's from long, slow periods of cooling. Perhaps that gives the time for the crystals to grow more. Very neat looking. Absolutely gorgeous. Keep an eye out for false floors or anything here. It's very unstable stuff. I presume it's very soft from the get-go, and then you go blasting through it and that just shatters the rock, leaving it to, I mean, look at the size of some of these chunks that have come down. Very large. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, dust is starting to clear out pretty good, so visibility is improving by the minute. Got a little bag of samples, just some beautiful crystals that, you know, they make good paperweights, and sometimes I make jewelry out of them. But anywho, we're gonna head on over to the other side. We see some sort of piece of machinery over there, and that's got us all razzle-dazzled.
I need to get my pack on this now. What is this?
Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is.
Is it a water hoist?
It's a water pump.
Oh, nice.
I believe, yes. It is looks like a two-piston. Wow.
This piece over here
Is part of the casting. Oh,
got thrown down the shaft or something.
the poor girl. Well, let's get some light on this beautiful specimen. Oh, time has been unkind. Oh, my beautiful. They've been so mean to you. You know, this could have been used to pump the water out from the bottom of the shaft. Because there is water from what we've read. We haven't gone down far enough to see it, but we're pretty sure there's water at the bottom. So there's an interesting principle about water in that if you're at the very top of a shaft and you try and pump the water out, you reach a certain point. So let's say the pipe going down to the water is dry, like a drinking straw. As you start to try and pump the water out, you will actually pull an absolute vacuum, and you still won't be able to pull the water all the way up because the weight of the water will actually, it holds it down enough. So that's why for things like skyscrapers and other, large, tall structures where you have to get water up high, the pumps are at the bottom and they force it up. So you're pushing it into the pipe and it's got nowhere else to go but up. But if you try and pull from the top, like sucking, there's a maximum height. I can't remember the theoretical limit. It's not much. It's like 30, 40 feet. And then you pull an absolute vacuum and it just doesn't move. A lot of little dead birds. There was another one back there. So we're at 2 croaked birds so far. So little steel wires and bits and bobs. Good amount of quartz overhead. Crystals all about. Got some ties. They got a drill rod holding that looks like compressed air line there. Got an old spool, likely for steel cable, maybe barbed wire. This level's good and extensive. A little bend in the tracks here. Oh, that keeps going. Well, you know the rule. Got a mucking plate here. JR. Bit of, looks like a vent duct. And I think it faces off down here. Now we're getting into, this looks like granite, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it's nice and dry in this section. This is a desert mine right here. Another little mucking plate. Remnants of a bottle. I don't know how old that might be. You can see all the pick marks from where they were going at. This stuff is very soft, so you can actually, it's feasible to work through this with a pick rather than drilling and blasting, although it depends on what kind of operation you're running. If it's a small scale operation, I'd get a couple good picks and just go to town, versus if this is a more commercial venture, yeah, they would be blasting through this. Good size rail. So they were hauling full buckets out of here. Not sure what that is. Looks like it wraps around. Sure enough. So there's a T on this pipe. This likely went down that passage over there and somebody's just tossed it over here. Got a raise, ooh, and a stole from where they were working it. Does this continue? Nah, that's the end of that. Okay, let's keep her moving. Another little stoped out section here. So it looks like the veins going across here and they stoped it all out, but this is really unstable stuff. Let's not mess with that right before I walk under it. Back into hard rock here. So it looks like there's one a lateral vein, sort of like this, and a couple offshoots of it. And then they inclined down to various levels and then worked it out. And I'm expecting they're probably intersecting on all the levels, and they just kept going down till they figured they got the end of it, and then they cut underneath with a plan to make chutes and stope the whole thing out. I don't know if the whole venture fizzled out or what, but here's something interesting. It's a drill rod, but it's in backwards. That's the drilling head. Older head, forged, so turn of the century by the looks of it. And it is kind of flattened, so they must have pounded it in, likely holding that that compressed air line, just like back in that other section. More of these offshoots, so it's a sandwich. And if I can remember from my geology classes, it layered up, horizontally, and then through plate action, they cleave and upheaval, and yeah, you get them going semi-vertical here. Notably, the incline of the shaft coming in pretty well matches the incline of this this ore body here. What have we got? MJB drip. Coffee, lots of crud and dirt on it. No barcode, so it's old. Glass coffee maker. Look at that. Oh, this is old. So, okay, things that you can see that usually a good indicator that's old. See, this is a soldered seam here, whereas normally on newer stuff it's just a rolled seam and then they coat the whole inside with a wax or a plastic. This actually, you can see the solder there. And then also this label, it's not a label. This is actually printed on. So it was painted green, and then I guess they put the logo on. I'm not sure how the application went on that, but that's old. It's probably, if I had to guess, I'd say 1930s, 1940s. Nowadays it's stamped cans. The edge is folded and pressed, and then the application of a wax on the inside or plastic makes it so that you don't really have to seal it per se. Now it looks like it keeps going, but this is some mighty unhappy stuff here. Very soft, very unstable. From the muffled nature of my voice, looks like another stoped out section, and I could see the back there, so not gonna risk it. There's still another level 100 feet down that I need to check out. Another pounded in drill rod. This one's a little newer. Still a single forged head, but you'll notice it's got a little hole in the center for they blow water with a compressed air through it, and that would sort of clear out the hole. Keeps the dust down as well. The other one, let's go back to that other one over here. So these guys, they would have called these widowmakers, because all the dust that these suckers kicked up, you were just standing there breathing it. And there was no OSHA. It was oh shit, So yeah, a lot of lung conditions for the miners that used those. You couldn't pay me to drill with something like that, at least not without a mask, So yeah, very neat. Oh, heading back to the main incline. So what we have here is a 3-piston or triple action water pump. We're not sure if it was originally at this level or probably farther down in the mine where the water table was actually met. But I'll give you a detailed view of what's going on here and what we're looking at. So we're missing a support here. Unfortunately, the whole thing's sort of gone. But the way this would have worked is you would have had a flywheel on this end that would have spun and a shaft going across. Here's the remnants of the flywheel. You can see a spoke and the flat surface where the belt would run. This would have gone across into, see this Babbitt bearing right here. You would have had a large gear, excuse me, and a smaller gear, give you the torque to run the crankshaft up here, and in turn, run the pistons. These three guys down here it's a manifold, and a couple of rocks stuck on it, and these hold down the springs for the check valves. So I believe that's the inlet, and on this side over here is the outlet, and you can see the three check valves there. Now, an interesting thing about this is, well, unfortunately it's in a lot of pieces right now, but it looks like a miner's repair has been made in the past. Now, you'll notice, those of you that are astute and work in plumbing, that they look like about a 2-inch clean out, and they're a threaded fitting. They got a 1-inch square nut on the top, or cast square, so that you could get them on and off, and that's so that you could replace the springs, the flanges, the seals, and whatnot, because they do wear out. Well, it looks like in one of their repairs, they may have stripped a couple of them, or maybe perhaps through vibration or water hammer, it caused the threads to become boogered or damaged on the top here. So to hold them down, they drilled a hole through the bottom here, and they put this piece of steel across. Now, normally that's, okay, big whoop, they put a piece of steel across. But what this piece of steel is a hand-forged axle for a ore cart. And you can see, here's where the wheels would go. Here's a hole for a cotter pin, and there's a cotter pin farther down in the mine over there just sitting. And this guy right here, it's a little bent, so perhaps that's why this was an extra part, and they said, okay, well, we'll make it into this thing right here and, fix a problem. This guy up here on the top, oh, she's heavy. It is broken off here, which is likely why they use this other side. Perhaps the whole ore cart was scrapped, and that's why they had two of them. But just an interesting sort of minor fix. Perhaps they had to get through the day, and that was the way to do it. Just very neat. Here's one of the other pieces of bearing, and this would have sat right up on the top here like so. But unfortunately, the shaft's rusted, and I can't get it to go back into the Babbitt again. The crank here on this little one is it's actually bent. So this guy hit really, really hard. And you can see when I push it, the piston does kind of go up and down just a little bit in the cylinder. But, I mean, the whole guide here is gone. She's in really sad shape. But at one time, this would have been a very neat, very beautiful little water pump. Still has one of the grease cups way up here on top. The other two, actually 3, 4 of them are completely gone. Can we see anything? Yeah, we could kind of see. Why can't we see anything? Did I grab my flashlight? Yeah, okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the same mine, as I'm sure you're aware. And we are going to continue down. Looks like the weather is clearing up nicely. We're going to continue our way down to the next level. And we're just going over the little thing here. Okay. Get straddled on the pipe here, get the rope where it needs to be. And yeah, it does look like it gets less steep down there. So, anyways, my comrade, I salute you. Onwards and downwards. Look at that. End of the 250 or 200 footer right there. Oh, and it keeps going actually. Try and navigate this as best we can. Whoa. Ooh, check it out. A loop for a trapdoor. So there was a platform right around here before. That's definitely apparent. I'm standing on the remains of a ladder. Does it truly go vertical here? Big piece of rebar. This gets pretty ugly. Hopefully this doesn't break free and whack me in the face. It's a lot more fluid than I'd like. The corner route was a mistake. It's much tighter here. I can't get the damn pack. Okay. Well, that was miserable. We're finally down. Finally got a drink of water. That was a miserable crawl. Looks like a bit of a manway there. Absolutely miserable. The shaft is completely plugged. You have to squeeze through. And you're on rope and it's in the dark. But anywho, we made it down to what I presume is the 200-foot level. And I hope it's semi-substantial. See what's here. Following rules of right. Looks like, pardon me, remnants of a track switch there. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Faces off over there. It's pretty barren down here. All the tracks have been pulled up and the ties. Or the rails, I should say. We got an old, some sort of container. It's a pipe. Now, there's not much in the way of mineralization in this level as compared to a lot of the other ones, which were extremely Woo! Come to Papa. We got an old explosives box here. Fortunately, oh, here we go. Hercules powder. I don't know if you could read that. I could barely read it. A neat box. Very much intact. Carrying on. What's that? 205. Another drill rod. This level is very nice so far as it's cool, dry, and the lack of airflow means that the dust hasn't backtracked in here, and that's why this is so clear. All the other passages up above. Oh, a little railroad spike right there. Wow, she keeps going. We are breaking into a little bit more of that mineralization again, although very minor compared to what was up above in those upper levels. This really keeps going quite a ways. Well, it looks like we are facing off. This might be, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, or 14, 16. So 16 ore cartfuls, perhaps, went through here. Truly hard to say. Interesting mineralogy spilling out of there. Wow, let there be light. Okay. So, still on the 200-foot level. And now I'm on the other side of the incline shaft, which, let me tell you, was a major pain to get to. But there's some good, very neat artifacts over here. First off, we met a little friend. I don't know if this is coming out at all. A little snake here. It's not a rattlesnake. He looks friendly, but I'm not going to mess with him. We got an old, very nice Union Carbide can here. Hope that's coming out. Put that guy back down there. And an old antique shovel. Still in, I mean, this handle is in beautiful shape. I could run my hand along it without getting splinters. It looks fairly old based off of the rivets and whatnot. But just a beautiful shovel. Feels Feel sorry for the snake. He's a long ways from the surface. But anywho, as you can tell, ooh, what have we got here? Long Run Lubricants. That's the name of the brand. Scientifically compounded number 3 cup for perfect lubrication. Everybody likes lubrication. Hey, check it out, a wishbone. Kind of interesting. Someone was having chicken down here. And anywho, carrying on. Nice wide and open. Tracks are still in place, which is always nice to see. Ooh, lovely gate valve. Let's see if she still operates. Pretty smooth at that. Got a bit of a stope going here. There's more of that beautiful mineralization up at the top there. Might climb up and pick at it a little bit with the rock hammer. The dust in this mine has been incredible. Just so damn dusty. What have we got here? Huh, a hook. Ooh. So they'd hammer this into boards and stuff as a hold down. This is hand forged. You can see where they did the forge weld there. Very neat. Bit of a drill rod. What's left of it. And some short sections of rail, likely for making the bend here. Yeah, for the track switch. There must have been a switch here, and I think a lot of the switch gear is gone. Ooh, a bit of plumbing. But here's something I always like to see. Old electrical. Is this a Gator? It is Bruns. B-R-U-N-T. Brunt. And we have an old hanging socket. You can tell it's old because looks like Bakelite and the old cotton wound conductors on it. Really, really neat. Beautiful. Let's see what else we got. Oh, baby, she just keeps giving. What have we got here? First in line. Oh, it looks like another lid to one of those coffee tins from down lower in the mine. Got a little tab there, but the paint on the edge matches. This guy, oh man, that's a heifer. Looks like a Union Carbide, based on, or Union, maybe Union Pacific. Red, R-E-D, Redrum? No. Red, it looks like a Y. Redding lubricating oil. It looks like they're using it as an ore bucket. It's got a nice flange on it for sealing. Still got the handle. Oh, that's how hernias are born. What have we got here? Some banding. Another drill rod, pounded in backwards. Another old one, forged head, but it is does have a fluid hole, so it's not a Widowmaker. We got 75. Couple of low spots here. Old lid to an oil drum. There's a lot to see in here. This is really fantastic. Little oil container. Okay, here we go. So this section here, you can see the water line, the smaller line. Looks like a 1 inch, and then you got an 1.25 inches. Actually, 1.5 inches, I'd say, based off of the size comparison. So there's your compressed air, and there's your water. And they're all, I mean, look at this section here. I mean, all we need is an ore cart, and we can go wheeling along this. We got the Giant Powder Company, Consolidated. Wow, that is a nice box lid. Leave that right there. Yeah, they were actively working this section before the mine closed, I believe. Just based off of how extensive all the things are here. She just keeps giving. Bit of flat bar there. Those guys keep going. We got an ore chute here, which would indicate, ooh, not climbing up this guy though. That's some, those timbers are not looking good. So, sort of off of the way that she's pushing, looks like she's looking to go. A lot of rock behind her. Some drill rods. Here's a handle, likely off of a hammer by the look of it. Actually, I own a hammer, a plumb hammer that's got the same exact handle. Looks like they split it, hitting a little too hard or prying. Doing something you shouldn't be with a hammer. Oh, what have we got here? Oh. A lot of rat turds. Either that or that's coffee. Look at this. Okay. Not sure where that goes. I might try crawling up that in a little bit. But a lot of water has been flowing through there. Small ladder here. Luckily for working up into there. What else do we have running off in here? A little drift over here to the side. Over here, it's either a pit or... Oh, it looks like she goes down. That might be our ticket. Is that water? I think that's water. That would mean that's the 300-foot level. Let's give her a little test. Kerplunk. Oh wow, that was great. Beautiful. Quit my day job, become a baseball star, why don't I? There we go. That is water. That is definitely water. Look at that beautiful little track. Another gate valve. Oh, no, this is actually a regular flanged valve. I should have looked at the body more. Still beautiful brass where it's been shielded inside the packing up there. We've got, oh, a raise through here. Man, so much going on. Flat shovel and beautiful nick. What is this? Perhaps a stuffing rod for dynamite. Looks like an old broom handle though. But they might have used this to stuff the dynamite in the holes. Leave that there for Nick. Oh, that is one janky. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a spicy ladder right here. Oh, mama. It doesn't seem to go anywhere though, but they really stoped this out. Must have been a really nice pocket right here. Man, all sorts of goodies. We got a Prince Albert tin, crushed to oblivion, but you'd recognize those anywhere. We've got another coffee tin, around the same vintage. Probably what that lid to over there. Based off of how it's filled with grease, I bet they were using this to grease the rails. So, leave that there. I wonder where the brush is that they were using. Part of an, oh, you could kind of read what it says. Old Quaker federal law forbids sale or reuse of this bottle. Huh. They were committing a federal crime by using it for whatever down here. It's a shame that it's shattered. Probably a nice bottle at one point. There's, oh, there we go. Old. I can't really read it on there. Man, there's just so much to see. Oh, here we go. Paul Morris, Leslie Wepler, all done February 27th, 1940. So it's 2020, so that would make this 80 years old. 80 years old? Yeah, 80 years old. I can math, honest. Oh, we got another raised section here. Now this looks like a ladder. I don't know. Whatever guy was putting together that last one needs to take it easy on the alcohol. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, so okay, I see what they were doing here. So on this level they undercut the vein, the ore body, and they were working up to get to it, and that would allow them to knock it down. They got the, well, you can't see the tracks in this section, but they would have had tracks through here, so they just muck it into the cars and take it out to the surface. So that's why all the stuff is stuck here. They probably had a really nice station back there, and so that would be that's why everything got stuck behind it. Unfortunately, it means that through the main incline haulage we cannot get down to the 300-foot level. Not that we could anyways. At the 350, oops, whoa, easy there. At the 250-foot level, 300-foot level is where the last level is, or the 300-foot level. That's the last level. But in this mine, at the 300 or 250-foot level, there's water, so there's no way to get down there unless you had some sort of pump in your pocket. But either way, this is still just a really wonderful level. It's been a great day explore. Might try and see if I could get that little snake up to the surface. I mean, I hate to leave him down here. I have a little bag I could put him in. And it's canvas, so you could breathe through it. Why, hello! Oh, it gets better and better, my friend. Just the friendliest little guy.
Oh no.
We're deciding to freehand it down to the 250 foot, or presumably this is just before the 250 foot level. Ladder looks pretty decent, so we'll try giving her a go and see how she is. Stole looks pretty good. Looks promising. Little looser than I'd like, but the angle is excellent, so I know this isn't the best way to go down ladders, but oh ho ho. It looks as though the passage continues underneath the ladder. Oh, unfortunately just a dead end, but there is a bit of something down there. Union carbide tin lid. And you can see we're about to where the water line starts. Ooh. Oops. I'd like to get a little closer. It looks like there's a level there, but I might be pushing my luck. You can see some pipes here. They might have been using this to pump, or this might have been an emergency escape way. There's something, I don't know if it's ore. Let's see how close I could get without taking a dip. I'd really like to avoid that. Ah, shit. Dirt in my glove. Yeah, so it looks like it's been moistening and then, you know, raising, dropping, raising, dropping, depending on what the rain season is like. Oh, oh, oh. She's giving way. Well, Yeah, it looks like it goes. I could see a whole bunch of big stoles, and it looks like it goes into like a compartment way and a man way.
Yeah.
But I can't get any closer without I'm gonna be getting real wet. So the water's real clear though. You could see everything just fine.